The Planet Man. The Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dantro, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, The Planet Man. You will recall that Billy and Jane were in a stolen scout ship with Marston's pursuing cruiser about to blast them out of space. Through the use of an ancient machine they found in the tunnels beneath Marston's palace, Pat, Slats, and Dantro have managed to project a three-dimensional image of Dantro into Billy's and Jane's fleeing scout ship. Planet Man is just telling them what to do.
You see, Billy, what you're looking at is not really me, but a three-dimensional picture of me, projected through space. I'm actually back with Pat and Slats in the tunnel under Marston's palace. Here, touch me. Yeah, see? Nothing. I'm not solid, so I can't possibly work the controls and fight off that Martian cruiser. You'll have to help.
Okay, I'm ready.
How about you, Jane?
I've never fired a ray gun before, but I'll try.
That's the girl. Now, Billy, we'll let them get close enough for one battery of ray guns to be effective. Billy, you're going to have to listen more carefully than you ever have in your life. And you, Jane, when I tell you, squeeze those two grips and hold them that way. The guns aim and fire automatically, but they have to be activated by hand.
They're getting pretty close.
Good, I'd hope they'd do that. They're probably trying to make sure they get us with the first salvo. Let them come in a little more and then hit that button on the left. Count 3 aloud and then release it. That should bring us around so that the ray turret can bear right on them. Jane, when you hear Billy say 3, squeeze, and don't let go until I tell you to.
I'll be too scared to let go.
Ready now? I'll count. And when I get to 4, it will be time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now!
1, 2, 3. Okay, Jane, squeeze. I'm squeezing. What's happening? Oh, look at the screen. We got it, though. We got it right in the middle. This ship's breaking right in half. It's exploding.
That was one chance in a million. We hit their atomic pile. Well, there's no sense hanging around. There won't be any survivors. You can stop squeezing now, Jane. It's all over. Listen, Billy. I'm going to tell you how to set a course that will take you to Planaria Rex. They'll watch for you and help you land from that end. Just leave your radio on so they can give you instructions.
Don't worry about us. Just tell me what to do and I'll take care of everything.
Well, now the kids are safe, but there's only a little less than an hour before the Admiral will order the fleet to strike at Marston.
That's right. You really think this machine will be able to stop that Dantro?
Well, it will if we can figure it out. I'm beginning to understand how it works, and if I'm right, it will solve the problem perfectly.
What do you mean?
You remember that machine you saw in Planaria Rex? The one that could transmit solid objects through space by breaking them down into energy at one end and assembling them again at the other?
Sure. I was hoping to get the franchise for that and on Earth. I'd put the post office out of business.
Well, I believe this machine is capable of doing that from a distance. If I have it figured right, it should be able to take Marston's entire space armada and transfer it to any planet. One so far away that would make them centuries to get back, even if they had enough fuel.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's do it.
Not so fast. That's what I think the machine can do. If only I could get someone who had a really good scientific mind to help me.
Someone like my father.
Yeah, he'd be perfect. He sometimes seems to know how a machine works just by looking at it. So, I've got an idea. It sounds kind of crazy, maybe, but...
Don't be ashamed to say it. Sometimes crazy ideas are just what you need. The kind that normally wouldn't occur to anyone.
Yes, Slats, what is it?
Well, see, I was just thinking... With this machine, you were able to send an image of yourself all over space, and you could act just as if you were actually there, only you couldn't really do anything but look and talk. Now, maybe you could somehow get an image of Professor Dara down here in the tunnel, and then he could tell you what he thought, and it'd be just like the two of you were actually working it out together.
That's a wonderful idea, isn't it, Dantro?
Oh, it sounds fine. Let's try it. Slats,
Yeah?
set the screen on Judge Augustus' office. That's where they said they'd wait.
Okay. There. Yeah, look, they're waiting all right, and they look plenty worried.
Here, let me talk to them. Judge Augustus, Professor Darrow, we need your help, Professor. I don't know if it will work, but we're going to try to bring a three-dimensional image of yourself down here into the tunnel.
What do you want me to do?
Just get up and stand in the center of the room. If we succeed, you'll know as soon as we do. Stand still so I can get a good lineup.
Is it working?
I'm not sure, Pat. Let's watch.
Oh, my
hello,
goodness.
Professor.
What do you know? Professor Darrow, fancy meeting you
Oh,
here.
Father, am I glad to see you.
So this is where you've been hiding out. It doesn't look very comfortable. Well, now, what's the problem? I'm sure you didn't go to all that trouble just to talk about the weather. Let's get to work.
Dantro is trying the impossible with this extraordinary device. He has succeeded in projecting Professor Darrow's image into the tunnel so that the professor could help and then figure out how the machine can be used to break up the Martian Armada. Is such a feat possible? We'll be back in a moment, so level off. When we left Dantro, he, Slats, and Pat were talking to the image of Professor Darrow and trying to get his help in figuring out the energy breakup facilities of the fantastic ancient machine. Outside of Marston's palace, the Martian fleet is ready to take off for the attack on Earth. Marston is directing the operations.
All right, quiet, you fools. You have less than 10 minutes. I've decided not to wait for Professor Darrow. He's had plenty of time to decide. Those two brats will have to take the consequences.
Marston.
Don't bother me now. I have no time for trivialities. If I don't supervise everything personally, nothing ever goes right. I mean to see that this field is cleared in 10 minutes. My ship will take off last. Where is that cruiser that I sent after that traitorous scout crew? Why aren't they back yet? I'll teach them.
Marston, I must tell you.
Well, what do you want? It had better be important.
The Planet Man is down in the tunnel with the Earth Girl and that Slack.
What? Planet Man? Are you certain?
Yes, Marston. They overpowered me.
Are they still there?
Yes, Marston. They are working with some machine of the ancients which they discovered.
Could you lead me to them?
Of course, Marston.
Tara, you take over here on the field. See that the Armada gets off on its way to Earth. Then wait here for me with my ship. Guard, lead the way. This time, Fema and I will take care of Planet Man and his meddling friends. This time, I will personally burn them down. Then there will be no slips, no mistakes. Now hurry, you fool, and be quiet. We must surprise them.
It's hard for me to think without being able to actually touch the different parts of the machine. I think I understand it, though.
It's so different from anything we have. What's your idea?
That bank of controls must be directional. That switch must activate the energy beam that does the carrying. There's the aiming dial, and this is the master control that links them into one function.
You're right. I'm sure you're right. That's the only way it can be. Shall we try it?
Go ahead. I'll keep my fingers crossed.
You'll have to help me, Pat. Professor Darrow, you check us just in case. First, I'll get the Martian Armada on the screen. There. Now, where shall we send them?
How about Pluto?
Well, that's perfect. They'd never get enough fuel to get back from there. Now, Pat, throw the switch. Looks as though we're all set, Professor.
That's it. Now the master control.
Done. And it worked. Look, the field is empty. Not even a scout ship left.
Oh, Father, you were right. The whole Armada gone without a trace. It's as though they never existed, and Earth is safe.
Yeah, Earth and us. I was afraid for a while that Marston was going to have his fun after all.
And so he will, my traitorous friend, and so he will.
What do you want?
I thought he was
No,
aboard
I
one of the
was
ships.
not aboard any ship, not yet. My fleet is gone, but I am still here. And I shall at least have the satisfaction of burning you down one by one. Professor Darrow, we have never met before. I'm sorry it must be so short an acquaintance, but why are you so silent? Surely the great scientist from Earth can think of a few last words.
Dantro, he thinks my father's really here. He doesn't know it's just a projected image.
You're right. Only Professor Darrow realizes that he may be able to save us. I'm afraid to try to tell him. It might give the whole thing away.
What are you two whispering about? Come.
Why don't you stop torturing us? If you're going to burn us down, get it over with.
I am enjoying this little chat, aren't you? Oh, by the way, Professor Darrow, may I compliment you on your reasoning? I couldn't have done much better. That machine is certainly a wonder. I think I'll send Planaria Rex into the sun with it first.
I didn't realize he'd know about the machine. We must do something.
Oh, yes. I stood here quietly while you worked it all out for me. It's just what I wanted. With it, I will need no one's help. No clumsy, meddling fools to spoil my plans. I can rule the solar system alone. Just FEMA and I. But I am bored with this conversation. I think it's time we said goodbye to our friends, FEMA. One last goodbye.
What a turn of fate. After succeeding in the phenomenal try of putting the entire Marston Armada out of commission, Dantro, Pat, Slats, and the image of Professor Darrow are held at bay by Marston's ray gun. One by one they are to be destroyed. We'll be back in a moment. But first, here is a message that Dantro the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man. The Planet Man. The Planet Man. Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dantro, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro the Planet Man fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. Marston has surprised the Planet Man, Pat, Slats, and what he believes to be Professor Darrow in the tunnel under his palace. They had just used the ancient machine they found there to transport Marston's entire fleet to a remote planet and end his threat to solar peace. Now, however, things look very bad. As we find them, Marston is gloating over his luck in catching them all and also in finding the machine. But he is unaware that Professor Darrow is really not there. What he really sees is only a three-dimensional image projected by the machine.
Yes, Planet Man, I will save you for last. You can watch me take care of your friends one by one, then it will be your turn to pay the penalty for opposing the will of Marston. With you taken care of, I shall use this machine you have so kindly discovered to teach the League of Planets a lesson. First, I shall send Planaria Rex into the sun, then the other planets one by one will feel the weight of my power. Yes, FEMA, it is just you and I against the solar system. But with this machine, we shall win.
We must do something to prevent his getting this machine. It's more dangerous than his fleet, and there can be no defense against it.
Stop whispering. What does it matter? You're all going to die. I think I've waited long enough. Who will be first?
Even you couldn't be low enough to shoot us down without a chance.
Quiet. I need no lessons from you, Professor. Be quiet or you will be the first.
Marston still doesn't know that that's only an image of my father he's talking to.
I hope Professor Darrow acts. He's our only chance.
Marston, you don't really think we're afraid of you?
I know you're afraid of me. You are not fools, and no sane man wants to die.
I'll show you.
Don't come near me. I'll shoot.
Shoot, then.
I warned you.
Look, the ray ray went right through him. It's hit the machine. Look out!
Is everyone all right? Dantro, where are you going?
After Marston, he went down into the tunnel.
Oh, be careful. He's armed.
I have the ray gun. I took it from the guard.
We'll wait here for you.
Gosh, he's a brave man. I'd hate to go down there in the dark after that maniac.
Wish there was some way we could help him.
Oh, I'm not really worried. I think he can outsmart or outray Marston any day in the week.
Well, I hope you're right. Say, we forgot to check the machine.
Not much left to check, I'm afraid. Just look at it.
Maybe it can be rebuilt.
Oh, I doubt it. From the way Dantro talked, no one knows enough about the ancient science to do the job. We were lucky to find it in working order and then be able to figure out how to operate it.
I hate to think what we would have done without it. You know, in a way, maybe it's just as well it has been destroyed. Think of what would have happened if Marston or someone like him ever really got hold of it.
Yeah, it'd be like he said. He and FEMA would rule the solar... Great blazing asteroid.
Well, what's the matter? What's wrong?
I just thought of something that scares me.
Slats, will you please tell me what you're talking about?
FEMA, that's what I'm talking about, FEMA.
Oh, what about FEMA?
You know what she is, don't you? A Martian flying cobra, one of the deadliest things that ever lived. Her venom just has to touch your skin and you die instantly.
I know all that. What about it?
Sure you know all about it. We all know all about it, but I'll bet you Dantro isn't even thinking about it. He's down there chasing Marston through those dark tunnels, thinking things are pretty even with both of them holding ray guns, and I'll bet you he's never even given a thought to that FEMA. She can see in the dark, too.
Slats, you're right. We must warn Dantro somehow.
Well, there's only one way to do it. Looks like I'm elected.
Are you going after them?
Yeah, there's no other way. Wish me luck.
I do, Slats. Please be careful, but try to reach Dantro in time.
Marston! Marston, do you hear me? You might as well surrender. You can't run forever.
Surrender? That's your answer. Marston will never surrender.
Dantro and Marston are locked in deadly battle. Slats, the engineer, is trying to warn Dantro of FEMA, whose presence gives Marston the edge. We'll be back in a moment, so level up. When we left Dantro, he was pursuing Marston through the treacherous underground tunnels. Marston has fired on Dantro but missed. Slats, in the meantime, has gone to warn Dantro of FEMA, the deadly Martian cobra who is with Marston. Dantro is unaware of FEMA's presence, and he stands vulnerable to attack in the tunnel.
Dantro! Dantro! Oh, where the dickens are they? I can't keep this place up much longer. I've just got to find them before it's too late. Dantro! Dantro, it's me, Slats!
Only we had some way of knowing whether your trick worked, Professor Darrow. You say you deliberately drew Marston's fire, knowing that his ray would pass right through your image? Do you remember anything else then?
No, Judge, it's just as I told you. The ray must have harmed the machine, for suddenly my whole picture of the room blocked out.
This waiting is so difficult. I gave orders to the fleet to descend at once and send armed search parties into the tunnels. Until we get word from them, we have no way of knowing whether Marston or our friends have won out.
I know how you feel, Judge. After all, Pat is my flesh and blood, and Slats is almost like a son.
Well, at least the two youngsters are safe. They arrived at Planaria Rex just a few hours ago.
Just a little bit further, and we'll have Planet Man where we want him, huh, Fever? A little bit further, if I remember, there should be a chasm in the floor. Let him think he has me cornered, and then we'll show him our little trick, won't we, Fever?
Marston, I know you're just ahead of me. You might as well surrender.
Ah, here's the edge of the chasm. Now, FEMA, be ready. When I say go, see that you strike straight and true. Planet Man, you have me cornered. I cannot go any further.
If you surrender now, I will see that you get a fair trial.
How do I know I can trust you?
You'll have to take that chance. Throw down your ray gun.
If I do, will you throw yours down also?
No tricks.
I know when I am beaten, Planet Man. You can depend on my word.
Very well. When I say 3, you throw your weapon out on the floor of the tunnel where I can see it. Then I will do the same.
Start counting, Planet Man.
1, 2, 3.
There it goes.
And there is mine.
Now, FEMA, strike.
Danto, FEMA, look out! Oh, no! Marston, that was your last bit of treachery. I'm coming after you.
Planet Man, you still live. FEMA, you failed me.
Look out, Marston, the chasm!
No!
Slat certainly was a brave man to throw himself in the way of that flying cobra, FEMA. We'll never forget his heroic deed.
He's that kind of person, Judge Augustus. And you know, when we picked him up, he smiled and said, "That FEMA. He must be stupid if he thinks his poison could kill me. Why, I'm so full of Army snake serum from World War II that it would take Marston's bite to put me out of commission."
He's resting comfortably, sir, and should be up and around very soon. He was delighted to know that Marston's dead because of his brave deed.
Are you sure? We never did find the body.
Well, no one could have survived that fall. No, I think we can forget Marston and his evil. We have more important things to discuss.
That's right. The Council has promised to discuss the entrance of Earth into the League of Planets. Won't that be wonderful, Father? Can you imagine how they'll feel back home when they discover that for years the other planets have been inhabited, watching Earth and waiting for the first spaceship to be launched?
Yes, Pat, it will be quite a surprise. I might even say a shock. That's why I agree with Judge Augustus that we must plan the whole thing carefully. If mistakes are made, it can create a great deal of trouble. You must remember that the Earth is still divided into many factions. If one side or the other sees an opportunity to use this as a means of getting the upper hand, the news of the existence of the League of Planets may bring on a great tragedy.
Do you think we'll be allowed to go back with the first emissaries from Planaria Rex?
It will be most essential that you do. Your father is an interplanetary figure, and his words will be listened to and believed.
Isn't it time we attended the council meeting?
Yes. Let's hurry along.
Alone in the darkness. They think Marston is dead, but they've not heard the last of Marston. Here in this room are machines of the ancients they do not even dream exist. In time, I will learn how to use them. When I do, I will make the solar system pay for my suffering. One by one, the planets shall feel the weight of my anger. One by one. It will take time, but I can wait. Marston can wait.
Marston still lives, alone. But even alone, his presence is dangerous. What can one person like Marston do? What are these machines of which he speaks? And what powers do they hold? We'll be back in a moment. But first, here is a message that the Planet Man wants you to hear. Tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dantro, the Planet Man. The Planet Man.
The Planet Man. Planet Man. This is the fascinating story of Dantro, the Planet Man, troubleshooter for the League of Planets organization, the law enforcement body for peace and justice in the celestial world, whose headquarters and center of operations are situated on the capital of all the planets, Planaria Rex. From Mercury to Pluto, wherever danger threatens the universe, you will find Dantro, the Planet Man, fighting for fair play. In a moment, the Planet Man. you will recall that our friends were safe at last back on Planaria Rex after successfully thwarting Marston's plans to conquer the Earth. They and Danto, the Planet Man, believe Marston to be dead, victim of his own evil. But though badly wounded, he is alive, planning revenge. Flat, who in saving the Planet Man's life was himself poisoned by FEMA, Marston's flying cobra, is recovering. We find Billy and Jane out in space aboard a scout ship of the League of Planets Patrol.
1,000 miles a minute. The kids back on Earth could see us now. Oh, Billy, isn't it exciting? Captain Alstar, can you hear me? When can I take the controls?
In a minute now, Billy. I'll switch controls up to forward con. We'll be clear of the regular space lanes by then. I wouldn't want to run into the Mars Express.
You think I'll be able to solo soon? Planet Man promised me I'd pilot a ship alone when I passed all the tests. Oh, Billy, you're in such a hurry. Well, you've only taken lessons for a few days. What are you talking about? I've had 10 lessons. That still doesn't make you a pilot. Like you know. Captain Alstar says I'm a natural spaceman. Tell her, Captain.
That's right, Jane. Billy's one of those rare people whose coordination is perfect for space.
See, that's how much you know. That still doesn't mean you haven't anything to learn. I've been watching, and it's pretty complicated.
Jane's got a point there, Billy. You can take it over now if you're ready.
Just watch me. Now, Billy, be careful. Billy, what's happening? Gee whiz, will you stop it? Gosh, Captain Alstar, aren't girls awful? Always worrying. I know what I'm doing.
He's doing fine, Jane. But Billy, keep steady on that accelerator. You're safer around here than a lot of other places you've been. We're 200,000 miles out with nothing but space around us.
She's not really scared. She always talks like that. But when there's trouble, you can count on her. Am I on a course, Captain?
Right on the beam, Billy. Just hold it where it is. Now, I'd like to ask you a few questions and see how well you remember what you've learned.
Shoot.
How can I tell whether we're on course or not?
Well, that's easy by checking the spot. That thing over there. The linear directional coordinator.
Good for you, Jane. That's tougher to pronounce than to use. How does it work, Billy?
Well, one dial is set for our course, like this. And the other on the automatic signals that are broadcast from the space station. This way. Now, if the two lines on the screen are exactly parallel, we're on course, right?
Couldn't be righter. Now, how about that red switch on your left? What's it for? And let's see how you use it.
That's the four-screen control. When you pull it, the ship is surrounded completely by a defensive screen. It's in case we're attacked or a meteor or something comes too close. Watch.
Good boy, Billy. Okay, turn it off. Let's head back for Planaria Rex now, Billy. It's time we were heading in.
Yes, sir. Let me hit that port accelerator. Can I land the ship today? Oh, there you go again, trying to do everything at once.
Well, I promised Billy he could bring us in today. Just remember what we've been practicing, Billy, and you'll be okay.
Don't worry. I know the routine by heart. I'm heading in.
This is Spaceport, Planaria Rex, calling freighter Centurion of Mercury. Land in Area 5, all clear for you. Hello, Miss Darrow. You're the nicest thing that's happened here all day. Can I show you around the control tower?
Oh, thank you, Lieutenant, but I'm afraid I'm in a bit of a hurry. Have Billy and Jane landed yet?
No, but they're due any minute now. Can't I help you?
Well, that's nice of you, but I'm afraid not. I have some important news for them.
I can reach them over the communicator beam if you like.
Oh, no, it can wait. Besides, Billy's got enough to think about flying that Scout.
Yes, I guess you're right. He's making his first landing today.
Landing? Well, is it safe?
Perfectly safe. Billy's flying like a veteran. Captain All-Star, our top pilot's been with him. He says Billy's one of the best students he's had. Don't worry.
Hello, Spaceport Planaria Rex. This is Captain All-Star. My scout is coming in. Request area for landing.
All clear, Captain. Take area 4.
Roger and out.
It's over there, Miss Darrow. You'll get a good view from up here on the control tower deck. Don't be surprised at what you see.
Well, there's nothing wrong, is there?
No, not at all. The first time anyone lands one of those scouts, they get a real jolt.
Oh.
It's hard to gauge their speed exactly, and it takes practice to come in just right.
Well, they won't crash or anything.
Not a chance. All our ships are equipped with auto landing gear.
Auto what?
It's a beam that cuts in automatically when they come down too fast. It acts like a kind of bumper. They'll bounce a little, but it's perfectly safe. You'd have seen me bounce on my first landing.
They should be there. I always get kind of worried knowing Planaria Rex is so close and not being able to see it. Captain, are you back there?
Yes, Billy. When the control tower gives us an area, you'll be able to see it on the screen.
Oh, they know we're coming.
We'll call in. As a matter of fact, Billy, you'd better do it now.
Check. Hello, Darrow calling Spaceport, Planaria Rex. Darrow calling Planaria Rex. Can you read me? Come in.
Spaceport, Planaria Rex. Come in, Pilot Darrow.
Oh, boy, Pilot Darrow, hear that, James?
Better get your landing clearance, Billy.
Oh, gosh, I forgot. Darrow to Spaceport, are we clear to land?
Spaceport to Darrow. You're clear to land. Take Area 4. Good luck.
Thanks.
Now watch the visa screen there.
It's like magic. First there's nothing, and then all of a sudden, bingo! Planaria Rex. There's the spaceport. Area 4 is that one, isn't it?
Check, Billy. It's all yours. Take her in.
Aren't we going in a little fast, Captain? Billy, oh my goodness!
Billy is heading in for his first landing. Is his speed too fast, or is Jane just being too overcautious with Billy? We'll be back in a moment. So, level off. When we left Billy and Jane, they were in a scout spaceship, heading into a landing at the Planaria Rex spaceport, this being Billy's solo landing. Waiting for them is Pat, who is accompanied by a lieutenant of the League of Planets squadron. The lieutenant is talking.
Here they come, Miss Darrow. See over there?
He's really traveling. Are you sure there's no danger?
Not at all, but they're due for a surprise. Watch.
Oh, no. Why, he bounced 100 feet into the air. But there he goes again.
Oh, they're down now.
Oh, I'm going over to the area.
Come on, I'll run you over in my jet jeep.
Gosh, what happened?
Just came in a little too fast, that's all. There wasn't any danger, and the best way to learn is to bounce a few times.
See, Smarty, I told you don't know everything. Oh, you heard what the captain said. It could have happened to anybody. Come on, let's get back and see what's happening to Pat and Dantrell. Go on, Captain. Thanks. Goodbye, Captain All-Star.
Bye, kids, and happy landing.
Billy, Jane, what's up, Pat?
In 6 hours, we leave for Venus.
Venus?
You see, we're going to make a tour of all the members of the League of Planets.
You mean we'll be like ambassadors from Earth?
Mm-hmm, that's exactly it. None of the people in the League of Planets has ever seen anyone from Earth.
Did you say we leave in 6 hours?
Yes, and we'll have to hurry.
Is the professor going?
No, he's decided to stay here on Planaria Rex and work in the laboratories with the scientists.
I guess Slants can't go.
Oh, not yet. In a couple of weeks, he'll be up and around. He'll join us then. Come on.
Well, Judge Augustus, we leave in an hour.
Dantrell, I wanted to be sure you realize how important this trip is. I know everyone will like Pat, Billy, and Jane, but we don't want anything unforeseen to happen.
They'll make friends with everyone, I'm sure.
That's not what I'm worried about. Marston had friends on all the planets, and they're still very active. To keep Earth out of the League of Planets, they might even resort to violence. So be prepared for anything.
A whole new world of adventure seems to be in store for Billy, Jane, and Pat as they prepare for their interplanetary tour. What thrills lie ahead? We'll be back in a moment, but first, here is a message that Dantrell the Planet Man wants you to hear. tune in again for more transcribed thrills and adventures. Rocket millions of light years into space with Dan Troll, the Planet Man. Bye.